to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Burgess. Here. Nelson.
Here.
Reed.
Yes.
Smith.
Here.
Sullivan. Walden.
Here. All right, up next, we need a motion to approve the minutes from the July 6th, 2022 council meeting.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Nelson.
Yes.
Burgess.
Yes.
Walden.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
All right, need a motion to approve the special meeting minutes of July 18th, 2022.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Reed.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Walden.
Yes.
Burgess.
Yes.
All right, up next, we got a motion to approve the payments of the bills as they appear on the warrant sheets. A motion for that, please.
I'll make that motion.
All right, thank you. You have a second?
I'll second.
All right, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Smith.
Yes.
Walden.
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
Burgess.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
All right, up next, we have a motion to renew the CD 1212724 for $20,173.52.
I'll
Need a
make,
motion to renew that?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, thank you. You have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Burgess.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
Walden.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
All righty, up next, we have public comments on agenda items. All right, if nothing, we will move on to communications from the mayor. I do have quite a few things I do want to bring up. I did have a phone call with Senator Doris Turner today about the intersection. She told me about moving the speed limit signs. They're going to be doing that, as you can see. But also, there is going to be ongoing tests going on for the next 90 days. So one of them is next week they're going to be installing flashing yellow lights for the traffic that is going north and south above the crossroads signs. They're also changing the speed limit signs to 48s by 48s on it. IDOT is looking at short-term, long-term, and permanent options. So some things you're going to see, such as with the cameras, they're out there doing it, having the cameras out there for their study. Those are now gone. They will probably reappear in a different position. The trailer that is showing your speed, that is taking data. Now, it doesn't take your license plate or anything like that, but it is taking data as to how fast people is going through there. You're going to be seeing that in one location probably for 2 weeks. Another 2 weeks, it might be in another location. It's just getting all sorts of different data. So, IDOT is definitely listening. We have great communications with them, and of course with Senator Turner's office. The plan is that they will at least update us, hopefully every couple of weeks, as to what they are doing. But they are listening. I did bring it up about the secretary coming, and she kind of felt that the secretary would come when they make a decision as to what they're wanting to do as an announcement. So hopefully the plan is within the next 90, and actually we're at about 80 days from the 90 days when they started, because basically the traffic studies had started basically a few days after the accident. So with that being said, there are some things that is happening. Like I said, you should see the flashing yellow lights. Kind of sounded like with my conversations that would probably be there all the time. They're not going to be moved. But like I said, they're looking at different things, so it would all be part of the study. And I got some other things. Oh, one thing that was also brought up, we brought this up at Parks in regards to fundraising. I did talk to Attorney Mordock about this. We cannot fundraise as a municipality, but we can basically solicit for funds. We can't ask people. So if somebody has, something that they would like to donate in the way of money, we can accept that. We just cannot hold a chicken dinner or anything like that. But when we do have an individual in the community that is interested in giving the city money for a toy item, they can do that. So, just wanted you all to be aware of that. We have the St. Jude's runners that's coming in, for, their annual, events out there at John and Julie's Old Houses. The RVs will kind of, before the runners come in, usually come in about midnight, and then the runners will come in about 1 a.m. So that would be, Saturday morning. So Ryan, I didn't know if I figured you probably knew about the runners coming in. And, so anyway, I wanted to let you all about that. And then also, I know some aldermen has mentioned to me about their contact information being out there amongst the public. So what I am going to do is that, since we do have a website, I plan on creating a form and sending it to all of you aldermen. I'll try to get something typed up. Reagan and I can maybe work on the language to see what you want on our website. Do you want your telephone number out there? Do you want just an email? In my opinion, I feel that you have to have a way for the constituents to reach out to you. I was telling this to the attorney. I looked at Rochester's. They have their home address and an email. And the email is actually a city email that's ran through Gmail, so it's like, trusteesmith@gmail.com, and then every one of them goes by their last name. So that could be something that we could kind of look into and maybe recommend, because I know some things have happened and people were getting phone calls and they were not happy about that. So just kind of making way, things a lot smoother. Also, we got Assumption Fest coming up this month, starting on the 18th on that Thursday, so downtown will be closed off. I definitely encourage everybody to go out there and have some fun. And also, I want to let everybody know we're having some credit card machine issues uptown. According to Janet, it's went out, but it's also antiquated. And so we were looking at one that is basically runs on Wi-Fi, because they do not make them anymore, that runs on the phone line. So it's probably have to be something, we have to fix it this month in order to take the payments. If not, we're not going to be able to take water payments. So Janet, you said you had one for $20 a month that we can rent.
$821 is the Wi-Fi, $450 was the Ethernet one.
The Ethernet one, okay.
So we have to add an Ethernet line.
Ethernet line on it, okay. So it is kind of important. I know this has just happened within this past week, because it was struck by lightning.
It's happened within the last 3 weeks.
3 weeks,
We're
okay.
turning people away, trying to pay their water bills.
Water bill. So we're going to work on trying to get that fixed here really quick, so that we can get people to pay their water bills and everything.
And that's the one.
And also, I want to thank this community for everything that they have done. The tragic accident that has happened out there. It's great to see everybody rallying around. It's great to see everybody coming together. And I know we all have our differences and everything, but this community really has shown its true colors and its true spirit with the supports of all 4 of the kids. And I went to the visitations and the funerals, and it was just awesome to see everybody. So I really got to give a great shout out to the community and all the work that you guys have done too. So, and Susie, she's attended, been helping to rally up the cause for something to get done with IDOT. So I just want to send a great thank you to everybody for that. And then also, I guess this could be the last or the best thing, but PJ is resigning. I do have a copy of his resignation letter. And I want to thank PJ for all of his hard work that he has done. I can remember, we hired you, to be the water helper, with Dana. Well, before Dana, I should say. You were doing what Dana was doing. And then I remember you coming to my house, and I was police chairman at the time, and you come to my house telling me that you wanted to be a cop, because Mayor Cal at the time was gung-ho about it. He was needing it because, Brian was being stretched too thin. So I want to thank you, for everything. You've been a great asset. You will be a great cop. I know, people out there, cops kind of have a bad reputation, and especially, small town ones. I hear instances all the time. But, we don't have those types of cops here in this community, and I feel that we never will. So I want to thank you for everything, PJ, that you've done. You're going to Shelby County, which, that's where Donnie and I are from, so we're a little biased, but all right. But I know that you do good over there. I told him where my mom lives. But here's one of the positive things. So PJ has agreed to stay on as our backup for animal control. And if Sheriff McReynolds of Shelby County agrees to this, PJ will come back on as a part-time cop. So if that is the case, hopefully this month, we'll get an answer from the sheriff. And if that could be done, and then we will go back and hire you back on as a part-timer for here. So he's maybe going away for a bit, but he's gonna be coming back, hopefully soon on it. And we appreciate you for everything that you've done. Other than that, that is all that I have. You got anything for the city attorney?
Yeah, first off, my condolences to this whole community. When Derek called, that was a tough call to receive, and I'm sure a lot of you received a tough call like that. So I'm glad to hear that you've come together, but, and I've heard a lot from different people that I've worked with around here about what happened, so I'm sorry that happened. On to my report. We've been working with zoning to correct some zoning issues, so we have a meeting a little later this month where we are going to discuss some properties that need to be rezoned. They're currently being used for business purposes, they're zoned residential, things of that nature. We want to get the zoning right for these properties, so we have a correct and accurate zoning map, so we're working on that. For 315 North St. John and 712 East Illinois Street, we've received the order. We've sent judicial deeds off to the county. The county, we're waiting for the tax trustee to sign off on those, and the judge will enter those judicial deeds and we'll finally own those properties. So we're just waiting on the county to finish up their paperwork, and then we'll have title of both of those. And then lastly, things have been quiet on the Shahada cases. Have not heard from him, so that's always a good thing.
And then also, September 1st, for the Butts house, should be hopefully torn down.
Yeah.
And if not, then we're gonna start farming. But so before I go into, the treasurer can't make it, but I also want to get a report from Haley in regards to the, Alyssa, I'm sorry. I got your sister mixed up. I got a lot on my mind right now. On summer rec.
Yeah, so I was in charge of the summer rec program this summer, and we actually really had a great turnout compared to when I did it back in 2019. We had 49 kids total sign up, and on average about a day, we had about 22 or so. Some days we had a little bit less, some days we had a little bit more. But I just wanted to thank you guys for the donation for the summer rec program, because we spent quite a bit of it, because we had to pretty much start from new, because we haven't had this program since 2019. So I spent about $448.47. I had to buy like kickballs, jump ropes, all the new like supplies for our experiments and activities we did, and I bought like a tarp for our water days and such. And then also I included some of the activities we did, which were some of the kids' favorites. We made like our own bubble machines, lava lamps. We did a lot of like baking soda and vinegar experiments, and we made like slime, a whole bunch of stuff. So I just wanted to thank you guys again for letting me do this. And then on the back I have a picture of all like the kids doing stuff. And, yeah, so I just wanted to say thank you for letting me do this. Friday is our last day, but we've had a really great turnout this summer. So yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much for
Yeah.
everything. All right, communications from older persons.
I have a list.
Okay, some of it I think I know, we'll talk about it, but go ahead.
You had a call, Selena had a call yesterday,
Yes.
I assume. I had a woman on Sarah Street with water running in her basement window. And I have, when she called me, I went over there on Sarah Street and I started taking pictures. And that street and the yards over there was like a lake. And
Yeah.
that was when it had started to go down.
I did talk to Darren about this. I talked to him this morning about it, and I also went over there and talked to them themselves. And yes, with the way the topography, and Mark does know because I talked to Mark yesterday about this as well. When Darren and I had spoke, yes, maybe a ditch does kind of need to be put in there to help with some of the drainage. I know one thing that was on a sidewalk that we could use, hopefully that we were hoping to get funding for the Safe Routes to School. That would raise the sidewalk up maybe a little bit, about 5 inches. That could have kind of helped with the flow of the water.
There's already a sidewalk there.
Yeah, but what I'm kind of getting at is that if we got if we got a new sidewalk in there, we could have raised it up a little with the Safe Route to Schools program. We could have raised it up about 5 inches. That maybe could have helped a little bit. I mean, I just was kind of brainstorming when I was
There's
sitting
actually
there.
no ditch on that whole block.
There's not,
It
but
is
that's
dipped-
another
It is
thing.
dipped there, just from years of them parking there and it being muddy. Because, I mean, I've got a spot in my front yard that's like that now for me parking in it.
Exactly.
But the closest storm drain to that, we would have to ditch all the way down there to Samuel Street. And then turn the closest drain, we'd have to ditch all the way down to Janet's corner.
Well, you're right, and I'm afraid, so at least the person across the street
And
from them,
everybody's
they have a
gonna be
beautiful
parking.
flower bed. They would not be happy if you had to put a ditch in there.
Everybody parks in front
Yeah.
on that street as well, in front of their houses. So you're gonna have a lot of people that are upset about losing their parking spots.
You're right.
And we got, what, almost 6
We
inches?
did, we got a lot of rain, no, I know.
There was standing water in everybody's yards. I had it in mine,
Yeah.
I mean, there was
We had it
everywhere.
down on Poplar.
Yeah.
But this was it, this is what I told Darren, and I'll tell all of you, we'll put our heads together and see what maybe something that we can do. I mean, it is going to be a challenge, and yes, she was upset, when she had called me, she didn't have water coming into her basement. But, I do feel that even if it's something that is very small, but is in a way helpful, I don't think we should kick it off to the side, maybe just, like I said, try to brainstorm. I said, I don't have a plan or anything, but, we will work on trying to alleviate some of this, so.
Well, we did tell them, because we brought it up like late winter, early spring, whatever, that there would be something done with that street as well, and nothing's been done.
I don't ever
there.
remember that being brought up in a meeting.
I brought it up, because those people over
I mean,
there.
I know,
They
the
talked
conversation with
about-
Mark and I, we talked about whether or not we were going to asphalt that road, and that could kind of help with maybe with the
We
grade,
got
but
a
that
price to asphalt that road.
yeah, it was astronomical.
The board voted
Yeah,
not
we
to.
said no to it, I do remember that
But,
part.
yeah, that
That's
would
about
be
the
the
only
other
thing that I
side
could
of the
think
road
about the
from,
plan.
from their house though. It wouldn't have been on their side of the road.
Also on Illinois Street, just to the west of Casey's, those people have mentioned their problems. Ron Weeks sink, he's got a brand new sewer system that is less than a year old, and his kitchen sink gurgled all day yesterday. His mom had mentioned, which she's talked to Jack different times, about the culverts being smashed down after the work was done over there. So I have pictures as well of their property, and it's like a lake out there. Dennis Sloan's property on the south side of his house over there, it was awful. I mean, you could have a little boat out there.
That was
It
everywhere in
it was
It
town.
was everywhere, we did, we
That
got
was
7 inches of
everywhere in
rain,
town
I know.
So anyway, they have called, and I understand
Yeah.
they're being upset. I mean, when you got water running in your basement windows,
No,
that's
I
bad.
know, I mean, like I said, I talked to them, I physically went to their house, so.
Okay.
Anybody else? All right, city clerk. We're moving on to new business. All right, we have here, first thing, I'm sorry. Pete, you can talk.
I just want to say
I'm
something.
sorry.
I want to say thank you to every single board member. I know every one of you I spoke with individually, and you guys were willing to fight to keep me on here. Chief Wade has been the best boss that I think I could have ever asked for. I'm gonna miss working for Assumption, but I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that's helped me out, and that goes to the community as well. There isn't a corner of this town or even the country surrounding it that hasn't been supportive, so, thanks again. I know I'll be moving on to a different area, but I'll still be living in Assumption, so, my door's still there if you guys ever need it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, up next we have a motion for resolution for Connor Rocliffe and Keegan Burton. So what we are doing is that we are creating, for Connor Rocliffe, we are creating April 27th Connor Rocliffe Day. And then December 25th will be Keegan Burton Day. So I'm gonna take a little time here, I'm just gonna read this. Whereas the City of Assumption, Christian County, State of Illinois, is a duly organized and existing city created and operating under the provisions of the Illinois Municipal Code and laws of the State of Illinois. And whereas on the morning of July 12, 2022, Connor Rocliffe and Keegan Burton were involved in a car accident in the city while they're on their way to weightlifting for Central A&M. And whereas both Connor Rocliffe and Keegan Burton lost their lives in the accident, and whereas Connor Rocliffe was a 16-year-old Central A&M junior who played football, basketball, and track for the school, he was also a summer worker for the city during 2022 and enjoyed riding four-wheelers, going to the beach and hanging out with family and friends. And whereas Connor was a great All-American kid who was known as a hard worker and loved his community as much as his friends and family, Whereas Keegan Burton was a 15-year-old Central A&M sophomore who played football and was a member of the Shelby County 4-H Spurs Club. He enjoyed basketball, hunting, fishing, hanging out with his friends, and was a member of the Mount Pleasant Church of God. And whereas Keegan was a organ donor, whereas organs were able to help 10 people after he had passed away. And whereas Connor and Keegan will be deeply missed by this community, and whereas the corporate authorities believe it to be in the best interest of the city to have a day in remembrance on Keegan's and Connor's birthdays as a reminder of the positivity and joy that they brought to their families, friends, and to this community. Therefore be resolved by the corporate authorities of the City of Assumption, Illinois as follows. The foregoing recitals shall be and hereby incorporated into and made part of the resolution as is fully set forth in this section. Connor Rowcliffe Day. The city hereby proclaims April 27th as Connor Rowcliffe Day. The city encourages its residents to use April 27th as a day to volunteer or take a positive action in the community. Keegan Burton Day. The city hereby proclaims December 25th as Keegan Burton Day. The day encourages its residents to use this day as a day of remembrance and sharing, as Keegan has shared his organs with those in need, and hopes that those together for Christmas will remember Keegan and his love of life and all that he did. Effective date of this resolution shall be in force and effect from after its approval and from its passage and approval. So we just need a motion to approve the resolution for Connor Rowcliffe and Keegan Burton, please.
I'll make that motion.
I'll
second.
Okay, any discussion? Seeing none, roll call please.
Walden,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Alright. Up next, we have to purchase plaques for the Parks Memorial for $297.46. What this is that this are the little plaques that would kind of be stated around the park for different things that are donated. We talked about it for the trees. So, a motion to approve that.
I'll make the motion.
Perfect, thank you. And a second.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Burgess,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Walden,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Alright, up next, we have a TIF facade application for 113 North Chestnut Street. So what we have here is that Billy sent this in after the finance committee, and this is for a facade, for a project in front of his barber shop down here. He's going to tear off the old awning, insulate the front with new shellac siding. So his request has been for,
It's 2,500, I believe.
I think that does sound right, $2,500. So we just need a motion to approve that, please.
I'll make that motion.
Perfect, thank you. Have a second?
Where did it say in here 2,500? I'm not
Page
finding it.
7. Page 7. I second.
Yeah, right. I thought there was also a dollar amount, Susie.
Oh, okay.
It's in his,
Oh, it's in the, I'm sorry, the part that I had saw was handwritten. Okay.
No, it's no
It-
more
it
than
is.
$2,500.
It is 187, you're right, yep. Alright. Do we have a second? Okay, roll call, please.
Nelson,
Yes.
Burgess,
yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Smith. Yes. Walden,
Yes.
Alright, up next, we have a motion to transfer $6,600 from the TIF fund to the general revenue fund, as this will be used to pay down our debt obligation to the TIF fund. We have a motion to approve transfer of $6,600 from the TIF fund to the general revenue fund.
Eric, I have a question.
Okay?
I noticed there is a discrepancy concerning what is owed to the general fund.
See, I had thought that too, because I sent an email to Moran and Associates. I was under the impression that it was like in the $50,000 range.
Okay, in our budget, the correct amount says 52,491. Okay, so if the budget isn't right,
No, oh, no, I'm
Where's the
talking about the, no, we're talking about two different things. So, when we first created TIF, we, the statute states that we have to pay that money back, because when we started the TIF, we had to pay for it out of the general revenue.
correct,
So, that money has to be paid back within the time frame between now and the end of the TIF. So, what Moran has given me is that it is owed $34,675. So over time, we have to do that. So what I would like to do is making a payment to pay down this debt obligation on it.
But it shows the debt obligation is $52,491 in our budget. That
I
Adam,
don't,
Matthias, I have it right here.
okay. That, I'm trying to, because see, that's what I told Janet.
These numbers do not match.
Hang on. I was trying to read through my email as to. Okay, yeah, if you read my email, I put, since the TIF account owes our GRF account roughly $50,000, I believe in the startup cost as a debt obligation. So that's, you and I are on the same page with that debt figure. I don't know where the other 20-some thousand, that's something we're gonna have to go look at. Because like I said, the thing that we got from Moran is $34,675.
Correct.
But what I'm getting at is, yes, you and I are correct, because that's what I was thinking, was that it was 50-some thousand. But then Moran even mentions in their email response that I've given all of you guys, is that it could be other expenses that's included in that. So, I do agree with, I do think that that 52,000 is correct on what we do owe. Because that's what I've always had in
How are we
grade.
gonna know for sure? I mean, this is.
Well, we can't, I mean, we'll have to go through and just do our due diligence, and we'll have to talk with Adam Price, and he'll have to also get with, Moran and Associates to see where this difference is, because evidently somebody is off, but I was, ingrained in my head was that it was that 50-some thousand. And Janet, we didn't even get a motion on this, we're gonna have to pull those minutes, I know I've seen them before, where Mayor Duss at the time wanted to do a whole debt payment right then, and I'm thinking it was like in the 50s. So we are gonna have to do our research, but we do know that we owe at least more than $6,600.
This email they're just saying the 34,675, but they're saying that there could be more
Yes.
based on different costs,
Mhm.
but it just says this means you can take up to 34,675. So I don't think it's given us our total, it's just
For
saying.
total, we can give it up to, yeah, because
Yeah.
that's
At
the,
this
that's the
point-
information that
At this
Moran
point,
had,
you
yes.
can only take 34.
Mhm.
That's how I read it.
Alright, do we have a motion to transfer $6,600 from the TIF fund to the general revenue fund?
I'll make that motion.
Do you have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Burgess,
I'm gonna abstain.
Smith,
Yes.
Nelson,
I'm gonna say no.
Walden,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Green abstained.
Okay, so I'll be a yes. Alright, up next we have a motion to approve engineering for grow assumption for $6,600 in the amount not to exceed $6,600 from the general revenue fund. A motion for that, please.
I'll make that motion.
Alright, you have a second?
I second.
Any discussion?
I have some questions.
Okay.
Where is the amount of people that have said that they would build? I've had a few calls. I had one guy tell me that he would like to build there, out of the calls I've had.
I'm no longer part of the grow assumption, so I mean, if you guys would like to answer that,
I've only had one person said he would like to build
yeah.
there.
We've got, at least 3 or 4 right now, we haven't even worked at it.
Have they,
Because we don't.
have they committed?
Well, no, I mean, we don't, it's hard to have somebody commit to something that's not, we don't know if it's gonna go. But I've got a woman who grew up in Assumption, she lives in North Carolina right now, she gets our ACPA information. She watched that video twice, she, contacted me, and, she's got, house plans. She's gonna be coming up in a month or 2 and meet with contractors, but I don't have anything for her to sign. There's a little bit of a, a cart before the horse or chicken and egg type of thing right now, where we do need something for these people to commit to. We've got, and another, we've got a contractor that's very excited about building a spec home. And then we've got one other person, a woman that had called, so if you've got some gentleman that's interested, there's probably people out there, I mean, really, a lot of people don't know about it. And we certainly don't have anything, I mean, what kind of commitment would we ask somebody to make right now? You know,
But you're
it is-
asking the city to make a commitment.
Exactly, but just to nail down the cost, because what we wanna do is get, you know, we made some preliminary estimates, you know, months ago when we were meeting, you know, just ballpark figures that, you know, we don't know if those are right. We don't want the city to get into trouble either here financially. Where all this $6,600 is for Mark to firm up some of those numbers.
But
And then
his-
we'll redo our spreadsheet and we'll see if we need 4 commitments or 6 commitments to cover that. I will tell the council that I contacted Titopolis, who's one of the other communities that's doing the same program that Dietrich's doing, exactly the same way. I think they've got the same attorney. And they're a town of 1,500 people. They were very aggressive with this. They in 2018, got a new TIF and bought land for 59 lots. I mean, we're asking for 16 lots. 59 lots in 2018. 38 of them were sold within 4 years. So, you know, we're just asking for a small amount, dip our toes in, see if it works, with the opportunity to get more if we need to. The woman told me, I talked to the city clerk, she said, there are people who are building spec homes, most of them are owner-built homes, you know, people who bought the lot to build on. But she said they've had several contractors build homes. She said as soon as they start digging the basement, those homes are sold. I mean, she used the term, those are going like hotcakes. So, you know, I don't know, Connor, yeah. Connor, you did some math on this, about you got some numbers.
Just, this might be a different way of thinking of it, but we get roughly 80,000 a year in TIF, right?
Yes.
And there's 15 years left in the TIF, or 17.
We go to 2040, 17 years left.
So, and the TIF will never drop below 80,000, it can only grow.
Yes.
So the minimum amount of money we have coming in over 15 years is over 1.2 million, right? So in 15 years, we have 1.2 million that we can use to make the city better. Right? So when I look at it that way, you know, the mapping, you know, the number one issue was housing. If we have this amount of money, I think maybe spending $6,600 makes a lot more sense for the opportunity to add housing. That's the way I see it.
And this is our first step on it. We're not gonna get the whole spiel again, but this is our first step. I mean, essentially, if it doesn't go, then we're gonna have to regroup and, you know, sit on this for a while. But I can't keep bringing it up all
I'll
the time.
make
So all we're
the
doing is
motion.
spinning it, so.
I'll make the motion to approve engineering for grow assumption 6,600 in the amount not to exceed 6,600 from the general revenue fund.
Have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Nelson,
No.
Walden,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Burgess,
No.
Smith,
Yes.
so it's 3.
I need to vote as yes. All right, up next, we have a motion to hire the new animal control employee, and that person is Dana. Dana has agreed to accept the position of it. I will also make it clear that this is not the water department doing the animal control, this is Dana doing it. So PJ has helped train Dana, and Dana is an animal lover, so I know that she'll be great at it. So she's, I thank her for accepting the position. Need a motion to approve Dana as the animal control employee.
I'll make that motion.
Perfect.
I can go get
I'll
that
second.
back.
Okay, that's where you're getting at, okay. Do you have a second? Susie did, okay, perfect, Susie, thank you. And, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Walden,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Burgess.
Yes.
Alright, thank you. Alright, up next, because Connor was our summer employee, and I had talked to Darren about this, we do not have a name yet for who we'd like to hire as another part-time employee. Kind of what the thinking kind of is that maybe, you know, getting somebody out there to do some of the physical labor on picking up, you know, limbs, just not working all the time, but enough to kind of help with the load. I mean, but we don't have a name yet. We can go ahead and we can approve the hire, and we can bring it back once you guys know, but we just don't have anybody yet. You got anything you two wanna add on this, Jack?
I think it's a good idea, especially even when fall rolls around.
Well, that's what Darren said to me, yes.
If we get the right employee, you know, I know there's kids working, but if we can get, once we start this sewer phase 2 project, you know, I'm gonna have my hands full. The whole water department's gonna have our hands full, so just
Exactly.
regular day-to-day maintenance.
Remember, we are adding, you know, Dana to do animal control too, so I mean, if somebody's got a loose dog, she can kind of wait on it, but if it's an emergency, you know, you just have to delegate your time properly.
When you say part-time, can you define that? How many hours?
I can't, I honestly
The way we
don't
did
know.
summer help, they come in at 8, you know.
Yeah.
Basically, we try to keep it under 40 hours, or we keep them under 40 hours every week, so they're not full-time employees.
We already have 3 full-time employees.
But then also the workload is getting astronomically higher. I mean, we're dealing with constituent issues. I mean, we have to start fixing things. Like I said, Jack is working on our ancient, you know, water system. You know, I'm getting nonstop complaints on limbs. Well, Darren is out there, you know, cleaning manholes and doing other stuff. You know, so it's, you know, we do have another employee that kind of is our part-timer, but he can't do physical labor because of health. So it's kind of like one of those things. Do you want people constantly complaining, or do you want to try to at least get somebody hired that can work part-time to help alleviate some of these problems? That's kind of,
Who are you talking about? Another employee?
if we hired another employee to help with this, is what I'm getting at, to help the workloads that's going on.
But you don't know how many hours you're gonna expect that person to
No,
work?
I mean, it'll be under 40, like Jack said. I know at one time, you know, kind of when we first brought this conversation up with Darren and I, we talked about maybe a college kid that could work, you know, the times that he's not in school, like maybe work, you know, if he got off like at noon from class, you know, on a Wednesday, he could work from 1 to 3, you know, 2 hours here, 2 hours there. You know, if he didn't have a class on a Thursday, he could work all day there. So that's kind of was the thought process on that.
Will this job be posted for
We
everybody?
can,
to-
I mean, we can post it, yes, if you want to. I have no
Well,
problem.
I feel that it's no more than right to post the job. I mean,
Okay.
everybody should have a fair chance at it.
We can.
Aren't we kind of posting it when we're doing this?
But we're not,
In a sense.
we haven't,
We
we're not to the point where we need somebody right now.
Yeah, we're not there, the
We
first,
want, if
so.
we need to be, then it's available.
Exactly, when I had the conversation with Darren, we had finance the very, you know, it was like a few days before. So it's like I wanted to bring this up, and then during the finance meeting that we had talked about this, but we did not have a name. So I left it to be put onto the agenda in case we did have something. I gave Darren all the applications of everybody that had applied, and I presume, I guess none of them are available, so we can post it again and, you know, go from there if you want to, so we can table this until we get somebody. But like I said, we don't know the time frame. It might be when we're doing the leaf back. You know, it might be 3 weeks from now, it might be next week, I don't know.
Will this be a minimum wage position?
Yeah, they always make minimum wage, yes. Other than the cops, part-time cops. So, I mean, what do you guys think about it? Or-
Yeah.
All it takes is one bad storm, and there's limbs and trees, and
E-
3 times
exactly.
the amount of load you guys.
And it's not saying that you don't have it named anything, you're just putting it on here.
Putting it on
when
there,
it
that we
comes
would
up.
hire us
When it
when it
comes
When it
comes up.
comes up, and
Exactly.
when the time
Right.
comes, you'll put a name to it and it'll go through the normal process.
Normal process,
of-
exactly.
Okay.
So, we have a motion then to hire the part-time employee for the street department.
I made that motion.
We need a second.
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Burgess.
Abstain.
Nelson,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Walden,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
All right, up next, we have the motion to approve the La Rochelle project disbursement for verdict for $37,740. We have a motion for that, please?
I'll make that motion.
All right, thank you.
Second.
All right, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Walden,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
All right, thank you. No motion to approve the water project disbursement for verdict for $4,617.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Nelson,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Walden,
Yes. All right, up next, we have a motion to approve a college intern for the police department for 150 hours unpaid, and that person is Kirk Allen right there. Would you like to talk a little bit about your plans, you know? Would you like to go into law enforcement, so go ahead.
Do they have packets?
We have it at City Hall.
Okay.
Um,
I need more copies.
Yeah.
My name's Kirk Callen. I've lived here for 20 years. I was part of the class of 2020 at A&M. While going to A&M, I spent my other classroom years going to Harvard Tech, doing criminal justice. I've worked as prison security for over 2 years now. I've also gone to school. I'm coming to my final semester, and it'd be awesome to do an internship in my hometown.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All you have to do is ride around with one of the officers
Mhm.
and take notes on what they do and document it for 150 hours.
So hopefully you can get started and get it done by October. It's, by the end of October, I think is what you do. Yeah. So you need a motion to approve a college intern for police for 150 hours.
I'll
Okay.
make that motion.
Thank you.
Second.
All right, thank you, Gary. Roll call, please.
Reed,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Walden,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
All right, up next, we have a motion to approve the water line replacement between West Samuel and West Illinois Street for $25,000. I will say that we are gonna be using our ARPA money for this. And there is a possibility that, talking to Jack, it might go over that. But once we have a handle on it, then we'll go ahead and, submit that price in for, approval. Need a motion to approve the water line replacement between West Samuel and West Illinois Street.
I'll make that motion.
Perfect, thank you, Don. Second,
I'll second.
roll call, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Walden,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
All right, up next, discussion and action is necessary on sanitary sewer project phase 1, project items as properly brought to the board. Mark, got anything?
Just getting that project closed out. We haven't released the final payment yet, but look too soon.
Okay. Up next, discussion and action is necessary on sanitary sewer system phase 2, project items as properly brought to the board.
Waiting on the state, things have been submitted. We'll look to get the loan agreement back from the state and then be able to award that project. They usually wait to the last minute and they have until middle of September, so I expect we'll see it sometime this month, but.
Perfect, thank you. Discussion and action is necessary on water system improvements, project items as properly brought to the board.
So they are finishing up some service lines, work on Illinois Samuel. And then the nitrate removal system, working on getting the operating permit for that project still, so, getting close to finishing that one up.
Right. Discussion and action is necessary on water systems improvement phase 2, the new water plant.
And so this one we've got the application filled out, so we were waiting for the US EPA to provide, what the next steps are, and she provided, basically an application, and I'll be getting with Janet to, finish it up. There's a couple things that we don't have the information for, but it's close, and then we'll get that submitted, and I don't know what after that. It is a new program, like I mentioned before, so we'll see what they say if we, when we can move forward with it.
All right, and discussion and action is necessary on the La Rochelle project as properly brought to the board.
And Jack, you might help me out. They're
We're 99.9% done. All we're doing now is we'll be digging up the tie-ins for the existing mains and cutting and capping them. I anticipate actual digging work to be done here the next couple weeks. And then they'll come back, in the fall and seed and grade and a little asphalt in.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll have a probably final pay request maybe next board meeting.
Perfect, thank you. All right, public comments on any non-agenda items? Anything? If not,
Derek,
oh, go ahead, Susan,
I
I'm
have
sorry.
one more thing.
Oh, wait,
I don't know if anybody has been past the park today, but our sign was put up. And I would like to thank Joan Stringer for designing it, Fisher's Welding for making it actually come to life, GSI for their donation of powder coating it, and finally, Holt House Buyers for all the many things they have done to help me. John has went over there and he actually put the concrete pillars in to put the legs in. They stored it for us until we was ready to put it up, and then they went over there and put it up today, and it looks fabulous. I cannot thank all these people enough. Without all of their help, it would not be possible. So, thank you, guys, and thanks for
Yes, thank you.
everything that everybody
Looks
done.
really good.
It looks wonderful.
that looked great.
I have one more question.
Okay.
The TIF money that was given to Jim Smith, what's going on?
Greg, you wanna,
We researched that, and I looked at the TIF agreement, and we have grounds to sue if you want to. There's
You
a
know,
case there, it'd be for $5,000, and we could seek attorney's fees, but the issue would be recover anything. So that's probably a conversation we should have with Derek, if that's.
I just
Wanna
don't
spend-
appreciate when there's people here that actually want TIF money and can make something happen, and somebody has stolen TIF money from the city. I don't